Hey guys, you're welcome to Moment Z, the show for the millennial generation. And of course, I am Palumi, and with me I have Amanda and Kemi.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Culture is defined as a way of thinking, behaving, or working that exists in society. Something done consistently becomes a habit done over and over becomes a way of life. Today we discuss the habit of savings, the saving culture. According to the study by the Bank of America in July 2017, millennials are the first generation ever to plan for the long term in order to achieve financial freedom early. The report revealed that in the US, 63% of millennials are saving to live their desired lifestyle, compared to the 45% of Generation X. Bringing it back to home, do African millennials actually also have the saving culture? And do we even believe in saving in Africa?
I don't think we believe in savings, because I mean, even as a Yoruba person, there's this, I don't know if I'll call it added, but there's this thing Yoruba people say that Nino Lowo. That means money is for spending. So you have to spend your money. Do you understand? So I feel like if that is already who we are, I don't think we save.
I feel like we just didn't grow up with the habit of saving. I feel like it's not part of our culture. As you said, maybe the way of life is to spend, but most times we're not taught how to save. Yeah. Let's go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll be joined by our guest. Stick around. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Moment Z, and our topic of today is the savings culture. Now, joining us to discuss this is Joshua Chibueze. He's a graduate of Covenant University, Nigeria, who has a passion for helping young people achieve financial freedom. He's one of the co-founders of Piggybank.ng, which is an automated savings platform that helps millennials better manage their finances. Wow, that is quite impressive.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so quickly just tell us all about Piggybank.
Okay.
Yeah, what is it about?
Tell us more about that.
So Piggybank is an online savings platform that helps young people, millennials, and even older people, individuals in general, save little amounts of money daily, weekly, or monthly automatically, and then restricts withdrawals until certain days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what did you see that made you realize, oh, I need to start this?
So it was, I like telling the story. It was sometime in 2015.
Yeah.
There was a picture that went viral on the internet where someone was able to save up 365,000 naira in a box.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting, and everyone wanted to save. You know, I did order myself a box, coming here. But then at the time, I noticed that I was going to have a problem with remembering to put in money every single day. I travel a lot, and as a result of that, it would be very difficult to actually maintain that. Also, in the past, we've tried it. Everyone has, but then at some point, month 3, month 4, you break the box or you use spoon to try to get money out. So it's crazy, it's not sustainable, right? So we thought about creating something extremely simple with the current available payment infrastructure we had. And I spoke to my friends about it, and then that's how we started. So we had our first version launched in January 5th, 2016.
How many people would you say have been using the app so far? Do you think a lot of people are receiving that idea, or they're just like, you know what, let me just spend this money?
Okay, so initially it was very slow because it was a new idea. I mean, no one wanted to know about something debiting your account automatically every day.
Okay.
And plus, you guys are just starting.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just see what's happening. Also, 2016 was the year of the MMM. It was crazy, and people were just skeptical about different things. So for us, what we had to do, or our strategy then, was to try and build trust and credibility, with the system. So it was it has been very great. In 2016, we're able to help people save a meager 21 million. Wow. But in 2017, we grew by...
You just said meager, 21 million.
Like,
what? Okay, I'm listening.
So by 2017, we had grown by 30x that, and it's been incredible. So far, we have about 50,000 users.
Wow. 50,000?
Yes.
Millennials.
So I really want to...
Not really millennials.
Yeah, I was going to say, what age demographic?
What we've noticed is that we have over 65% of our users who are women, even more older women, actually.
Than younger people.
Yeah, so the thing is, in Nigeria, it's very difficult to save.
That's where we're getting
because we don't earn as much.
Yes.
We're considered poor. And that is true,
poor,
because
honestly.
the average Nigerian is one paycheck away from poverty, you know. So it's very, very difficult to save as a young person because you have responsibilities, you have a lot of things, you want to party, you want to do a lot of things. So it's extremely difficult, but what we've been able to achieve with Piggy Bank is forcing you to actually do the savings, because you have those responsibilities to meet up with. And
what do you mean forcing? Like, okay, so if I sign up to the app, is there an app?
Yes, there's an app.
If I sign up, what next? Like, do I have an agreement that I have to drop a percentage of my money every month?
Yeah. So the thing is this, current with our banks today, what they allow you to do is they encourage you to spend, right?
Our banks encourage you to
Yes,
spend.
they encourage you to
Yeah,
spend
they do.
because you have easy access to your funds. You have an
Okay.
ATM
Yeah,
card.
yeah.
You know, it's easy to take out money anytime you want, right? But at the back of our minds, we just wanted something like an online vault that will just help you store that money, and then you set instructions on that to say, okay, I don't want to take this money until a certain
time.
date. If I decide to take this money before that date, I get charged 5% break-in fee. So the break-in fee actually helps people not withdraw until
I
a
see.
certain
I was
date.
like, what is the app?
Yeah, what's the
I get it
incentive?
now.
So it's been very interesting so far. In March 2017, we launched a feature called the Safe Lock. Now the Safe Lock actually it's more disciplined. So that is, I don't want to touch this money even if I'm dying. Don't give it to me.
okay.
So users actually, everything that was designed on Piggy Bank was done out of customer feedback. We didn't just come up with any ideas off the top of our heads. It was customers saying, okay, the 5% is not enough. They still find themselves withdrawing this money every time. They want something that would actually keep them away from the money. They just want to lock the money. So we've been improving on the product in general based on customer feedback. So it's been very interesting so far.
Wow.
Personally, I want to talk about this savings culture from my own little experience. Now, I'm a huge impulse spender. I don't think I grew up with the habit of saving a little out of, you know, not a lot. And I think that we as young people are not being taught other ways of saving, like, you know, having like equity and fixed income, which is actually ways you can actually save, and you don't have enough information about it, like, you know, knowing much about shares, bonds, stock. So I'm like, what other ways will you advise people to save?
Young people specifically.
Young people don't actually have the money in bulk to actually put in those instruments, right? You find out that it's only when you have the money you can now decide to know about stocks or to know about bonds, you know. So I think where the disruption would come in is when young people can actually invest in bits, right? So the average young person, you know, probably earns, let's say, 100K or 150K, thereabouts. So if I can invest as little as 5,000 naira, you know, in a pool, you know, of, let's say, bonds or stocks or, you know, mutual funds or whatever. So that is where I see, you know, this generation going into, where people are able to come into pools to actually invest in, you know, real estate, what have you. So the idea is people don't have enough yet. That's why they don't go for the education. People who have enough money go for the education, right? So when you have when you have enough money, it's easier to actually want to learn about these things and, you know how it works. So I think where this is all going is where people will be able to invest the little they have. That's when, you know, the average millionaire who earns as little as 100 to 150K can actually make good use of their funds. On Piggy Bank today, the Safe Lock option gives you 10.95% interest. So that's actually
that's a good one.
an incentive to help you fix your money for a period of time. So if you're locking your funds for 365 days, you get 10.95%. It's extremely flexible. You can lock between...
It has to be a year?
No, you can lock between 10 days and 1,000 days. So depending on what you want to do, depending on how long you know you want to lock those funds in. So that's another extra benefit of actually saving, because you actually earn interest.
Yeah, that's really cool. But I feel like there's a 16-year-old somewhere who still doesn't understand the whole concept of saving. And I think when we come back from the break, we will just try to break it even down further. Like, what exactly do we save for anyway? Stick around, guys. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the show. We are still talking about the saving culture. And Palumi, you were asking a question about 16-year-olds.
Yeah, so basically I feel like, because even I don't even understand the whole concept of saving.
Yeah.
Are we saving for the future, or are we saving for an immediate expense? So for example, I see a lot of people who, they want to get a car. That is when they save.
Yeah.
They want to get a house. That is when they save. And I have a lot of friends who, after saving for the car, they're back to being broke. So what exactly is the concept of saving?
So I feel like people are either saving for a purpose, or they're saving because they think there might be an unforeseen circumstance or an emergency that would come up at some point. It's also for financial stability. You find out that you start the year, and then at the end of the year, if you haven't saved, you feel like you've not achieved anything. You're not as confident as you should be. Having money in your bank account makes you confident. That's the truth of the matter. So
That's true.
if you can be disciplined
You
enough,
must have a lot of money.
if you're disciplined enough to actually put aside a fraction of your earnings every day, every week, or every month, after a while, you become more, financially independent. You don't have to rely on family, your girlfriend or boyfriend or parents. It's easy to be you, and you can do a lot of things. So I think for financial stability, for unforeseen circumstances.
I really want to add to what you're saying, and I feel like what you're saying is totally correct, and I feel like there's actually nothing wrong with saving for different reasons, because at every stage of our lives we have things that are important to us.
Exactly.
So if a car is important to you at that moment, then it's fine to save. But I think the problem is when you don't save because you feel like I don't need to save for anything. So now here's the thing. I was reading an article where I think his name is Mr. Kunle Adebayo. He's like the general manager of a pension company. And he was talking about how a lot of young people want to have startup businesses. They have innovations, they have ideas, but they have no capital. And here's the crazy fact. You know how it is to take a loan and the interest rate is crazy, and you're like, how do I pay back? And that's the sinking. You're like, oh, whatever, I don't have the money to do it. So I feel like if you develop that saving culture, just save because, like, just the same way you give tithes, just save because you want to save, just because you want to save.
Again, saving is hard work. It is discipline. There's no, it's something you have to develop by yourself, right? It's not easy to do. You have to, it's delayed gratification, that in the sense that, yes, you're not eating today, but you know that your future is secure. Some of these pension companies, they tell you, yes, your future is secure. And it's true, because there are some things you don't absolutely need to buy right now. But you find yourself buying those things. You just want them. You don't need them, right? So it's your ability.
You don't need them right now.
It's your ability to differentiate between your wants and your needs. Being able to itemize those things, being able to set a very clear budget for yourself to say, okay, this month, I'm not going to go above spending 30K on food. And you stick to that and ensure you're not doing above that. If you have any, so it takes a while, right? You have to start small. You have to grow into it. If I had something like Piggybank at some point in my life, I think I would have been a better person, because I would have been able to train myself. So it's starting early and training yourself. It doesn't just happen automatically.
Welcome back, guys. It is still Moment Z, and it's time for us to wrap up the show in a nutshell. But before we do that, we took a quick poll online. Let's see what you had to say about savings.
Don't make enough to save.
Yeah, I think that's like legit.
41%, not making enough money, that's quite sad.
I think for me, I'm having like a lot of issues saving, because you realize that you put up a certain amount of money, and then you eventually have to go back to that money to basically live and do your daily, day-to-day activities. So it's really hard. But in a nutshell, I think I'm really going to use that piggy bank thing.
Yeah, me too.
Even if it's 100 or 50 naira, let's put something.
Keep doing it,
What do you have to say in a nutshell?
I don't know. I'm praying about it. I'm going to get a piggy bank account and see how that goes. I'm definitely going to reduce my spending, though. I think that's my biggest fault. And let's see how it goes from there.
Yeah, in a nutshell, I think you're very right about having multiple streams of income. I think it actually really, really helps, which is why I feel like everybody being an entrepreneur is not really a bad thing.
Yeah.
But then I have some tips on how to save on little income, because we're talking about you know, millennials and young people who don't have enough.
Yeah.
Now it says plan your shopping. Don't spend on a whim. Make a budget. Buy used stuff. Get creative. Like if you're going to work, you can actually pack your own lunch.
Yeah, my dad tells me that
and
all the time.
of that. Like instead of just spending unnecessary. So you have to find out, what am I even spending on? I can tell you that my biggest expense is Uber and Taxify, and it's crazy, and that's why I want to get a car.
The good thing about us Nigerians having to work like have 4 different jobs or 4 different sources of revenue embeds that hard working culture in us. That's why you notice when Nigerians go to other countries, they're so prosperous, because we've learned to work 10 times harder than the average man. So on the bright side, you know, just sending some positivity out there. You know?
Okay, thank you so much for your positivity.
You're welcome.
I think it was a great show.
Definitely.
I actually did learn a lot. And
Likewise.
I was impressed by the Piggybank platform.
Yeah, thank you, Joshua.
I hope you guys also learned a little or more tips on how to save. And if you're having the same problems like us, if you're spending too much, don't worry, just share with us on our social media platforms. We're all in it together, trust me. We have to go now, guys. But don't forget, everyone deserves a moment, so go get yours.